Hey guys, and welcome back. Want to give a little update on the alpha game. As far as the menu, we're still the same. I'm going to start by going ahead and loading this DevLog file that we had before, just so we can see the same reference. Now immediately, if you've watched the first video, you can see there's a bit of an environment here. We have some texture, some mountains, some grass. Not amazing yet, but first steps. And also we have a drill, actually stylized drill as opposed to just the small mesh before. A few different things that have been stylized. We also have the conveyor lifters, which have not been modeled yet, but basically it's two pieces. Just to demonstrate real quick, let's see here. We have the lifter input, which we can take from input from any direction, and then we can stack the output on top of it, and we can change which direction that outputs. And this will move items between two floors. Actually, looks like we may have talked about that in the last video. All right. So we have lots of different types of nodes. This is an iron node, and off the top of my head, we now have iron, coal, silver, gold, uranium, lithium, radium, lead, sulfur, and salt nodes. Most of the metals can only be smelted at this point. They can't really have a lot done other than that. Right now I'm playing with trees, and although it's not amazing, if I hit this tree a few times, it'll disappear. Oh, we also have an inventory now and the ability to drop items and pick them up as well. So that's that. Let's see here. As far as new machines, let's start with what we have in manufacturing. We have a refiner and a nuclear refiner. The refiner will turn some materials that can't be smelted into refined materials, such as lithium ore into lithium. And then we have the nuclear refiner, which I don't have a model for yet, but that does the same idea, but for radioactive items such as radium and uranium. Radium and uranium also have radioactive particles that float around the ores, and in the future game, I kind of want to make it so that whenever you're near those items, you have to have protective gear or else it damages your health. So maybe you want to process the nuclear items in or radioactive items in a different facility, and that sort of thing. So then also I want to show you the shuttle bots. So real quick, this is one of my favorite things. So let's say you have a really complicated factory going, and you have conveyor belts going all over the place, or you want to move something across a long distance. You can use shuttle bots, and the way that they work is so first let's make a drill to output something, and also with the drills made it so now it has a menu with an on-off, but let's leave that off for a second. Go into the shuttlebot menu, and we'll create a shuttlebot base station. And you'll see it makes this base station with this little cart robot. We'll turn on the drill. And then we also had to make a receiving station. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay. And so then we go back to the shuttlebot. Let's turn them on. And then also we only have one receiving station, but there would be a list of receiving stations here. And so we select the receiving station we want. It puts it as the destination here. And then when it runs its loop, it goes to the receiving station. Now, the reason I built this path out like this is because the shuttle bots are only made to, oh, I'm blocking this guy. They're only made to go over very smooth terrain, and this guy happened to make it over this bump all right. However, I think it's just the best process to do this or build a road to wherever you want, because there's definitely times where they haven't been able to get over it, and when that happens, you'll receive a no valid path status under the machine status here. Let's see here. So I definitely would like to show some of the radioactive nodes. However, they're really far off in the distance and be a really long video to get there. Maybe I'll have to bring one closer for a future video. If you look closely, it's a little hard to see in the distance, but there's white caps up on the mountains with snow. And then this is pretty cool as well. Down in these trenches, we have jungle biomes. And so it looks a little weird from here. The levels of detail are less when you're further away. But anyways, so now that I've jumped down in this canyon, this is a jungle biome area. And I think it'd be cool down here. First off, you're kind of trapped. And in a new game, maybe you're a little intimidated to go down, so you don't go down right away. But although some people may find it a little annoying, I love how you can't see very far because the foliage is really thick. And I was playing with a second player, and we were almost getting lost down here, and you could be fairly close to them, but because of all the bushes, not be able to see them. And I think this would be a good intimidating environment to have something that is attacking you, or some sort of animals. And then down here is maybe where you find some of your more challenging nodes. So all of these trenches do have a way to get out. This one's actually quite a small way to get out. You have to go down a little bit further, and it's over around the corner here. But yeah, because otherwise you would be trapped down here, and that would not be good. But anyways, this really reminds me of like Satisfactory, out exploring and dealing with the random animal and to try and find new materials. Because down here there's some different nodes. I know there's some lithium and some lead down there. This seems like a tough area, but that's kind of the point, is that these jungle biomes would be difficult areas and make it hard to see, and maybe there's some aggressive animals down there, so then you can you work hard to get to the different nodes. And then just talking about the textures of the ground, the ground really isn't amazing yet, but we have this on the sharp cliffs. There's no moss on the rocks, some moss. There's some different types of grass around. Down in the jungle, you saw we had some different textures as well. And then if you look, there's some actual grass on the ground. That could be improved as well, but really was focusing more on gameplay this week, and just adding a little bit of aesthetics just to make it a little more fun. And as we're coming back, we can see the shuttle bot over there going back and forth. And then just to demonstrate, if we add a conveyor off the back of this guy, the receiving station is starting to output whatever we're transferring over. Let's see here. Yeah, still haven't fixed the size of the steel drums, but yeah, so that's the majority of things. I don't think in generators I had this bar last time showing the amount of power produced and used, that sort of thing. Yeah, I think that's about all for this one. Hope you stick with me in the next ones. Really excited for some of the future updates as this game is starting to become playable and fun. And sometimes I catch myself when I'm testing playing a lot more than testing and building out things. But yeah, I suppose we could go and load this other world I have just to see what we have going on here. It's been a little bit since I've been in here. Got some conveyors going across a ways. I don't think I think I have some shuttle bots set up in this one, but they're not going to destinations. This one is for steel drums, which I plan on sending over to my nuclear plant to put nuclear waste in, yet to be developed. This facility is like my iron factory. Creates the steel drums, gearboxes, metal rods, metal screws, that sort of thing. And then with the shuttle bots, you could have multiple bots go to the same station. So if you wanted to receive, let's say, a bunch of items over here for particular things, you can, you want to receive plates, rods, and gears to make gearboxes. You could take them all in a receiving station over here. Yeah, I think that's about it. Again, thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you next time.